Hey guys, welcome to Math Class with Miss Brown. Before we get started with today's lesson, make sure you guys subscribe to this channel for more fun math videos. And make sure you guys like this video and share it with your family and friends. Now let's get started with today's lesson. Okay, so in today's class, we are going to learn how to subtract with decimals, right? So just like how we add with decimals, we're going to make sure that our decimal points are lined up. So I have 90.17. Then I have 5.89. But as you guys can see how I lined this up, how I set this problem up, this is not accurate. Our decimal points are not lined up, okay? And our numbers are not lined up by place value, so we will not use this. So I'm going to go ahead and erase it, and I'm going to make sure that my decimal points are lined up, and I'm going to make sure that my digits are lined up by place value. So I'm going to always start with my decimal points, right? So my first decimal point is at the top. After that decimal point, I have 17. Before it, I have 90, right? So now I'm going to take the second number. I have my decimal point. The 5 is before it, okay? And I'm going to make sure that 5 is lined up with the 0. And then the 8 and the 9 comes after the decimal point. And I'm going to just make sure the 8 and the 9 is lined up with the 1 and the 7 that was already there at the top, okay? So as you guys can see, I thought I was adding, but that was a mistake. So yeah, I put my subtraction symbol, right? So I'm going to make sure that my digits are lined up by place value and my decimal points. So first, I'm going to say 7 minus 9. I can't do it. I'm going to borrow from my neighbor. I took the 1 from my neighbor, and now I have 17 minus 9, which is 8. I can't do 0 minus 8. I can't borrow. Then I go to the next number. I'm going to borrow 1. That turns into the 8. That's going to turn into a 10. Now I have enough to borrow 1. That turns into a 9. The 1 that I borrowed goes here. So 10 minus 8 is 2. I bring my decimal point down. 9 minus 5 is 4. 8 minus nothing is 8, okay? So my final answer is 84.28, okay? Okay, we have 34.6 minus 0.24. Make sure that our decimals are lined up. So I'm going to go ahead and place my decimals to ensure that they are lined up. See, top and bottom. Before that decimal, we have a 34, and then after the decimal, we have a 6. So next, I'm going to put my subtraction symbol, and then after that decimal point, we have 24. This is not how we should set this up. That's a big no-no. It's not lined up by place value, okay? Always look at the digit after the decimal, okay? So here we have a 6 after that decimal, right? That's why we put the 6 after the decimal. And then the second number, we have the 2 after the decimal. So that's why the 6 and the 2 both have to be lined up. Then I'm going to go ahead and put the 4, okay? So now I'm going to put my line bar here. Okay, and when you're subtracting, you always want to make sure that your spaces at the top is filled in. So that's why I'm going to put a 0. You really don't have to put the zeros at the bottom. You really don't have to, but you just want to make sure that you have your placeholders at the top, okay, no matter what. All right, so now we're going to subtract, and then we're going to regroup if needed, okay? So now we're going to make sure our numbers are lined up. I did that. Okay, we got the ones place, tens place. And remember, if you want a better understanding of place value with decimals, please watch my video that I have posted about place values with decimals, okay, so you guys can have a better understanding, okay? So after the decimal point, we have tenths and hundredths. I will go more into details with this in my video about place value with decimals. So please make sure you at least pause this video and go watch that video before you finish this. But if you don't, just make sure you watch it after this video, whichever you want to do. So we can't do 0 minus 4. I borrowed from the 6. That turned into a 5. Brought that one over. And now we have 10 minus 4, which is 6. 5 minus 2, which is 3. Bring my decimal point down. 4 minus nothing, which is 4. 3 minus nothing, which is 3. My final answer is 34.36. So easy, right? Okay, as long as you know how to subtract, you should be fine. Make sure that your numbers are lined up and your decimals. So now we have 0.005 minus 13.64. I want you guys to pause this video, get your paper and pencil, try to do this problem on your own, and then when you're done, we're going to come back together to go over it. Okay, you guys should be done, okay? So I'm going to make sure my decimal points are lined up, as you can see what I'm doing here. So I'm going to put my 005, okay? That's the first number I see at the top. And then I'm going to be done with that number. And now I'm going to do my 13. The 13 comes before the decimal point. But first, let's put the 6 and the 4 first, okay, after the decimal point. And then I'm going to do the 13, okay? All right. Well, This is not how you should have set it up. Just because you see 0.005 is the first number at the top, remember, when we are subtracting, we start with the bigger number first. The bigger number goes at the top. So in order to know which one is the bigger number between both of these, we see that the second number has 13 holes. The other number, 0.005, it doesn't have any holes, so that one is smaller. So I'm going to start with the 13.64 because this number is bigger. The bigger number always go at the top when you are subtracting. Unlike when you're adding, it doesn't matter. But when you're subtracting, the bigger number always go first. So as you guys can see, I am setting my decimal points up and my digits by place value. Remember, always fill in any spaces at the top when you're subtracting. So now we're going to subtract. I can't do 0 minus 5, so I borrow from the 4. That turns to a 3. Add the 1. 10 minus 5, which is 5. 3 minus 0, which is 3. Okay. 6 minus 0, which is 6. Okay. Bring my decimal point down. 3 minus nothing, which is 3. 1 minus nothing, which is 1. My final answer is 13.635, okay? All right. Like I said, as long as you know how to subtract, you should be fine. Make sure your decimals are lined up and your numbers are lined up by place value. Okay, that's the end of today's lesson. You guys did amazing. Remember, it's going to take more practice. But before you go, make sure you subscribe to this channel, like this video, and share this video with your classmates and your family and friends if they need help in math. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at MissBrown_the_math_teacher and on TikTok at Miss Brown the Math Teacher. I'll see you guys in the next class. Bye.